Alright, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am your charming, self-proclaimed, yet still humble host, Mukluk, and we are back for Guild Wars Tuesday. That is right, it is that day of the week. Hope you guys had a good one so far. Morning, Muck. Good morning. I see you. Hello. I just finished having a bowl of cereal, and we are ready to jump into it now. Last time, we were doing some World v World, and we got an Ascended chest. Don't know that I need it, but I've got it. I'll throw that in here with all the other Ascended boxes, in case there's something I need it for in the future. Let's see. Consume all of those, add those to the wallet. Got a bunch of luck, too. What's your favorite cereal? I don't know if I have a favorite. There's a lot of cereals I like, but most recently my wife got, like, generic store, what is it called? Like Frosted Flakes. So I had what was essentially Frosted Flakes this morning. We have got a lot of stuff to clean up here. Alright, let's swap over to the character that can get all that luck out of my bank. Do this real quick. Yes, Ascended chest early on, really cool drop. After you played for a long time, you don't know what to do with it. I don't know if it's an annoyance, but yeah, not super sure what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, that music was a bit too intense. Hammock tier 4 support is very cool, to be honest. First time fractals, healing is pretty fun. Oh, nice. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I do healing quite often when I do PvE stuff. I enjoy it as well. There we go. Alright, process this stuff. I think that might be a touch loud. Let's do that. Nice luck-crushing vibe music. Mukluk's luck-crushing. Your favorite cereals, whatever is the best deal? I mean, there's a lot of cereals I'll eat. Trix, Lucky Charms, Golden Crisp, Fruity Pebbles, Cornflakes, Frosted Mini Wheats, Cocoa Puffs. There's a few cereals that I don't like, but I'm pretty simple when it comes to them. No name brand flakes. Yeah. Occasionally she'll get generic brand something and I'll be like, I'll veto it. I'm like, never get whatever this is again. But the bargain brand cornflakes taste fine, so that's fine. So many luck essences, I usually just use all mine. Well, I would too, except for the fact that, where is it? I'm capped. You see right there where it says from luck 300? I cannot get any more magic find from luck. It takes years to get there, but I'm capped from that. Coffee is the best breakfast? Coffee. I don't drink coffee. I actually have grown to like the smell of it, but I can't stand the taste of it. Hello? Hello, Christina. I have enough luck for all of the Gen 3 weapons and I have to figure out a use for it soonish. Never knew there was a cap. Yeah, you can get a max of 300% magic find from consuming luck. You can get more magic find from other sources, but from consuming luck, it caps at 300. And it'll still let me hit the consume button, but nothing happens. I may possibly die if I don't have morning coffee. I think I'm 75% coffee. I mean, if that works for you, I'm not trying to stop you. Okay. Alright, so that is done. Alright, so the luck has been condensed and now takes up less space. Oh gosh, there's a lot of containers on this character too. But that's for another day. Alright, back to the druid. I've been using my luck essences and getting a level a day-ish. But I had to stop eating them as I'm rapidly approaching getting an All-Ring Leggy and I need 250 exotics. Gotcha. Game's been around how long, and I'm just now wondering you could craft the rarer luck essences. If you need more details on that, it's artificing, like skill level 1. So even a brand new artificer can do it, and they can condense many small lucks into the larger lucks. And since I am saving them and not eating them, condensing them makes them take up less inventory space. Alright. It's time to process some loot. What's the door docket today, Muck? Just Guild Wars 2 and chill. Right this second, we're going to tear some stuff apart. Muck, what's your tip for learning a new specialization? Build guides tell me what buttons to press, but don't explain the basics. Usually, okay, if it's... Okay, let's say it's something completely foreign to me, like an elementalist build, right? Because like if it was a different ranger build, I already have some ranger muscle memory. But let's say it's an LE build I've never played before. First, I'm gonna just copy the guide and follow the guide because it's probably made by someone that spent more time playing elementalist than I have. And then after I've kind of got the hang of it, I will start looking at the traits and the utility skills and be like, okay, is there any of this that I want to change that makes me enjoy it more, even if it's a small loss in damage, you know? And then I might make some tweaks to it. But usually I'll start off by, you know, playing the build as someone else said to do so, because they'll know more about that class than I do. Oh, what? Suddenly scroll to the top. Howdy, folks. Hey, Torsten. I might have to do the luck thing again when I finish this. Also, reading the traits and skills too helps. Yeah, like let me give you an example. You know, Ranger has a skill called Spirit of Nature that mass revives a party. If I'm playing a Ranger build that's new to me, and it's like its elite skill that it takes is not like a massive difference to the build, I'll swap it for Spirit of Nature because it makes me happy when I can save a group of people. That's just an example of a tweak I might make. You know, if it's a small damage loss, like I'll take that hit because I want that utility. But, you know, it depends on the class. What gives more karma, map comp, or World v World, or Dragonfall farming? I would think Dragonfall farming, with because they're in those zones, those Living World Season 4 zones, there's a thing you can buy that permanently increases how much karma you generate while in those zones. And I think if you buy that a couple times and you're doing Dragonfall, that it would beat the other two things you said. The final boss of this game is definitely storage. I've been playing it for the last month or so, and inventory is ridiculous. It reminds me of Fallout 3 where you get full of trash. It can. Like, what I'm doing right now is identifying stuff, salvaging things, and, you know, selling some of the stuff I get from it. I could just sell these things while they're unidentified on the trading post. Like, for example, if I just do this, you know, it would get me over 2 gold per stack, you know, and that's good. But I like doing the salvaging and seeing if I get anything really nice. And plus it, you know, stocks your bank with materials. I like having, you know, tons of materials all the time. Thanks for the tips. Currently building my first Paragon, and some of the tooltips are very long. Gotcha. Yeah, I can give you an example on that. Paragon healer, sorry, recently I did a video on like trying out the new heal Bladesworn build that came out, and the build guide I copied was running Harrier gear, which is fine. It's kind of like the glass cannon of heal gear. However, Harrier gear on a heal Bladesworn did a total of like 1,500 DPS. And my logic was like, if my DPS is that crappy, I would rather be unkillable. And so I swapped the Harrier gear out for Giver's gear, which skyrocketed my toughness, so it was really, really tough to die to making a mistake. And the trade-off is my damage went from like 1,500 to less than 1k. But it's like, no one cares when you're dealing with numbers that low. So, that was a trade I was okay with making, and I understood the sacrifice I was making was a bit of damage, but it made it to where I didn't have to worry about dying due to an accident because it was so dang tanky. Muck, your Untamed build in YouTube is good for solo builds? Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I assume you mean the quick Untamed build. Yeah, that can do solo open world, that can do DPS and raids, it can do open world with people, like in world boss events and stuff. It's really good. We are almost done with the blues. This is the last stack of blues I had in my bank. I need to do this, but I don't have an inventory big enough. Yeah, I get it. Let me tell you, this is a lot less annoying when you can do a whole stack at a time. And you can do a whole 250 slots at a time. Do you suggest you get full map comp on at least one character, or do you suggest do it with every character? I would say do it on your main. That way... Look at me, I'm so curvy! That way, when you are, like, wanting to do things on your main, you already have the whole map available. So, you know, any niche activity, like, oh, I can go do this, map meta in this, you know, obscure location. You know, that's always going to be available to you. However, on your future characters, like, I would say I personally only did map comp additional times on other characters when I needed more Gifts of Exploration. So I would say Gifts of Exploration or simply enjoyment would be the reason to do it again on other toons. If you're having fun or you need the gifts. $69, nice. If you don't have a lot of space, break down the blue bags first, then deposit sell, then move to green, deposit sell, and finally raise. Oh yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. Do you need Gift of Exploration? That many. So Viper, it's simple math. Like, okay, with the first, when you do world map completion, you get 2 Gifts of Exploration. Let's say 6 months down the line, you've used those and you want to make a 3rd legendary. You're gonna need to do map comp again if you want to do another Generation 1 legendary. It's that simple. So, like, over the years that I've played this game, I have made enough legendaries that I've probably done world map comp, you know, 3 or 4 times, but I know people that have done it like 10 or 20 times. It just depends. It's like 4 map comps on 4 different, you know, on 4 characters would be 8 Gifts of Exploration. That's 8 Gen 1 legendaries. It just depends on, you know, what projects you're working on. But like, for example, if you want to make a legendary spear, I would say the easiest one to make is the one from Janthier. Getting the Janthier map completion is a lot smaller than the world map completion. So it depends on, you know, do you just really like the Gen 1 graphic, or would you be okay with the Janthier Spear? Because if you're okay with the Janthier Spear, it's a lot faster. What do you think about having characters of the same class for different game modes, so each one's bags only contain mode-specific drops? For example, one for World v World, one for PvP, one for Fractals. That's not something that I would do, because then you'd have to get bags on each of those characters. Like, okay, I have this very impressive inventory, right? I only have this on this guy. My other characters do not have bags like this. They have a couple, but not like this. So if I were splitting up my stuff like that, I'd have to split up, you know, my bags like that. So I wouldn't do that, but I don't find anything wrong with you doing that. I made my first Leggy in the game. I got kicked for it because that was a legendary markup. What? If you have more than one Seer infusion, will you look different? Does the effect increase? Most infusions stack if they have different stats on them. So to give you an example, the Seer one specifically, I don't know, but the way it usually works... Alright, Heart of Connor. This one gives 5 toughness and 9 agony resist. If you had 2 Hearts of Connor and one of them had 5 toughness and the other had 5 power, then they would stack the graphics. But if you had 2 of them and they both had 5 toughness, it would not stack the graphics. That's how it usually works with infusions. That said, I don't own a Seer one, so I can't speak on that one, but I would assume it's the same. My engineer has the infusion that looks like he's got a blue flame in his eye, and he's got 2 of them, and they've got different stats, so the effect stacks. So if you have 1 for power, 1 for toughness, 1 for condi, 1 for, you know, and on and on and on, I think you can stack most of them like 6 times. Do you have the 6 or so Connors? No. What's that one festival that's all about, like, gambling? The Zephyrite one. That's how I got this one. I was gambling the boxes at the Zephyrite thing. But no, there was a video I did a long time ago where I showcased wearing, like, 6 of each infusion. And no, those were loaners. A rich person in the game loaned those to me so I could make the video, and then I sent them back to him. Four Winds, thank you. Festival of Four Winds is what I was, that was the name that was escaping me. My son got a Heart of Connor from World Boss Rush chest yesterday. Lucky dude. Oh, wow, yeah, that is lucky. That's super rare. I can swear that's not the case for Ghostly. No, I can super confirm it's like that for Ghostly. The Ghostly infusion has like a couple of little black flames on your character, but if you wear 6 of them with different stats, you have so many black flames on you, you almost look like a Shadow Priest from World of Warcraft. As long as they got different stats. Yeah, Ghostly one, as far as infusions go, it's on the cheaper side. So that one, I more frequently see people wearing, you know, a pile of them from time to time. Okay. Let's deal with yellows before I continue. I almost don't have enough space to do a stack at a time. I got 4 in my warrior, but 2 with power, so that means I wasted 1 for like 5 years or something. If you are talking, when you say wasted, if you're specifically talking about just stacking the graphic, then yes. But I mean, you're still getting the power from it. So that part's not a waste. Like, we were just talking about graphic stacking, but if you want just the stat, like the stat stacks, that's fine. I mean, I was just talking about like the visuals. What's max luck you can have before achievements? Maximum luck from just consuming luck is 300. If I mouse over this, you can see right there, from luck 300, from achievement 17. So much salvage? Yep. Gonna make some money today. I put this off until the point where my bank was pretty much full. Normally I'd ask why not trade posting gear. I trade post gear if it's worth more than an ecto. If it's less than an ecto, I just salvage it. But by identifying first, you occasionally can get like big items, like precursors for legendaries and stuff. So it's kind of like gambling, but you're guaranteed going to get a big pile of materials whether you win or lose. So in general, green and blue gear is useless. If you're at the point of the game where you're past that, yes. Like, you don't have to look at... There's no blue or green gear that's worth, like, big money. But orange gear and yellow gear... Like, there's yellow gear that's worth gold, and there's orange gear that's worth hundreds of gold. So you always want to look at those before you get rid of stuff. But blue and green, you don't have to look at before salvaging. Just make sure you're using the right kits. That inventory is like acid to my eyes. I'm literally addressing the problem right now. Like, you're giving me a hard time while I'm fixing the problem. You go to the gym and you see someone who's overweight on the treadmill, and you're like, hey, and they stop and they turn and look at you, and you're like, you're fat. Like, yeah, they're actively working on the problem. Get off their back. Jesus. What orange or yellow gear is worth a lot of gold? Hang on. There's an orange item that's currently worth 163 gold. There's an orange item that's currently worth 46 gold. Yep. Usually, if I've got yellows and oranges in my bag, I go to sell items, and I sort by price, high to low. And I see if there's anything in my bag that's currently worth more than globs of ectoplasm. And if not, I just sell and salvage the remainder. Holy crap, dude. Look at this. I got this from just playing World v. World. 25 gold. Nice. On that note, I just checked. I don't have any oranges that are big money, so I'm just going to salvage the rest of these oranges with a good kit. Is that all of them? I think so. Second to last stack of greens. Need a bunch of those to Infinite Siege? Yeah. You don't have to memorize what's worth what? Oh, no. God, no. No, 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 no. Like, even I, with 10,000 hours in the game, I know a couple of big ticket items, but I don't know all of them. You just go to sell, and here's what's in your bag, and sort from price high to low. And you just look here. That's it. Alright. We are done with the greens. Now yellows. Now you're going to see me do that trick more, because after each stack of yellows, I'm going to have to do that check. So, trading post, price, high to low, nothing above the ectos. Use a nice salvage kit and salvage the yellows. And you see ectos are going up right now, because this is why we're using the nice salvage kit, because we can get ectos from these. Okay, again. And Berserker's Amulet, 3 gold. Yackington's Helm, about half a gold. Earl's Mask, 40 silver. Vatlaw's Gloves. Okay, that's good. And salvage yellows. Using an artificer to compact all that luck could have you sitting there long enough to get kicked due to inactivity. Yeah, I compacted my luck a minute ago because my bank was getting full. And so I compacted my luck into this just a few minutes ago, but I'll probably have to do it again after we're done with this. Do you use any booster when salvaging? I don't know of any boosters that affect salvaging. Okay, nothing crazy. Oh, there's the Twin Largos music playing right now. Someone asked me to add that. Okay. Muck, is it bad if you want to try to make your own build to make it good, or do you suggest use Guildgen or Snowcrows? There's nothing wrong with making your own builds. But just know, the game has been out for a long time. So most of it has been figured out. So I would say if you're going to, like, make your own build, it's often better to start by, like, copying one of the existing top builds for your class, figuring out why it's a top build, and then see if you can tweak it and make it even better. Because, like, a lot of the math over the last, 10 plus years has been done for this game. But there's nothing wrong with trying to do something unique or making trade-offs. Like, I acknowledge that giving up this skill for this skill is going to be a small loss in DPS, but I think it will be very useful, and it'll make me happier, so I'm going to do that. Like giving a bomb kit? Yeah, like there are some engineer builds that use their weapon and grenade kit, flamethrower kit, bomb kit, and mortar kit. So they're juggling 5 weapons. And if you give up one of those kits to just get a button you don't have to spam, then it's a minor loss in damage, but it is a gain in the time before you get carpal tunnel. So there's plenty of people that play engineer, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to do, like, weapon plus 1 or 2 kits. I don't want to do 5. Do the latest gen legendary weapons perform better than the first gen ones? Here's a visual thing. No, they have the exact same stats. Like, take a legendary greatsword, okay? There's Sunrise, there's Eternity, there is the Gen 2 one, there's the Gen 3 one, there's 3 Gen 1 greatswords, and they all have the same stats. The only thing different is the graphic. They all have the exact same stats. Okay. Alright, that is what is left in my bags after everything spilled out. Now, I'm just going to toss this in the bank and I'm not gonna mess with putting it in the correct spot because my artificer will just pull all of this out of here. Alright, so elder wood logs are overflowing into my bags. So we know that means that the material storage for that is full. And these are 72 silver a stack. How do you craft those item bags you have? If you do !bags in the chat, one of the guides is for 32 slot bags. And that covers a lot of the ways to get them. I can't even... Oh my gosh, the man locking me out. I can't even sell all the elder wood right now. Alright. Let's squish the lucent stuff so that it takes up less space as well. Some of my builds are pure class fantasy. I have a core sword and board and bow warrior with a rock dog that's super fun to play. It raises some eyebrows though. People often get very irate if you don't play the way they want you to. I would say people can get irate if you playing the way you want drags them down. And let me explain that. If you are running around on your own in the open world and you're playing your fantasy build, nothing wrong with that. But if you join like a fractal group, and there's a healer, and there's 4 DPS, and you're responsible for doing 25% of the damage of that group, and your fantasy build is doing very, very little damage, you are forcing the other people in the party to work harder. And under those situations, I think it is valid that they're upset with you, and they might not want to group with you again, because they're like, oh, this guy's role-playing, and I'm having to work harder while he is, you know, pretending to be a furry or whatever the heck you're doing. But again, if you're solo doing your own thing, it's fine. No one has a right to complain about that. But if you're in a fractal group or a raid group and you doing, you know, fantasy is making other people do more work, I think that's legitimate. So it depends on the time and place. Okay. Alright. Got a bunch of ectos, too. Alright, have to come back for that. So let me take care of the luck while it is resetting my ability to use the TP. I get that. I'll always take a meta DPS heal quick in fractals and raids, but in open world, I mean, poof. Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, have you played DQ Legends yet? I have not. I've been playing too many games lately, and I haven't gotten to that one. Heck, just yesterday, we played the Shape Hero Factory demo. We played The Room. I played Darktide. I got my daily stuff in Warframe. I played Total War. I played Last Spell. I played Grim Dawn. Like, I visited all those games yesterday. And I think I did my Guild Wars dailies. So I haven't gotten to EQ Legends yet. How'd you like the room? It was good. I was able to solve all the puzzles without having to use the hint feature. It was good. And the viewers the viewer numbers were good, so I think we can safely do the room games as well. That Warframe Railjack mission yesterday was epic. Oh, the music video mission? Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Yeah, I think that might be my favorite mission in all of Warframe so far. And it's funny because of all the missions I've done, the ones that people are like, oh my god, once you get to Second Dream, it'll change everything. It'll blow your mind. You know, it'll save your parents' marriage. You know, just crap like that. Like, all the quests that they've built up like that have been very meh. But then this quest, no one's mentioned it to me, and I think it's the best one in the game so far. How goes Tuesday? It's going. Doing some bag cleaning after months of World v World. Currently squishing together all the luck. Muk, do you get annoyed when you really like the game but the viewership isn't that great? I mean, I would say disappointed is more accurate than annoyed. Like, okay, let's say recently I've been playing the last spell. I was playing it on stream, and on the last two times I played it on stream, we had like 100 viewers. It was very clear that my audience had told me without telling me they weren't interested in watching this. And I was kind of bummed out because I really like it. And since then, I have continued to keep playing it off stream because I am enjoying it. But the numbers speak for themselves, you know? That is the loudest way y'all tell me what I should and should not play on stream, is simply the viewership numbers. So if the numbers go down, you know, like if I'm taking a huge hit to viewership, because keep in mind, you know, it pays my bills too. If I'm taking a huge hit to viewership for a game, it needs to be a very short game, or I need to stop it. One of the two. The viewers are wrong. No, I mean, it happens sometimes. Like, and the reverse is true also. There's times when chat has, like, tried to get me into a game, and I just simply did not enjoy it, and I put it down. So, if, you know, the viewer numbers were good, but I wasn't having fun, so I stopped playing it. But, yeah, I would say it's usually the other way around. There's plenty, we have tons of examples of times where I was having fun, but chat was kind of checked out. So I just wrapped it up and moved on. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Huge viewership on day one, tanked after that. So I just finished the main quest line and then stopped. There was probably another 50 hours worth of side quests that we didn't do. But I needed to move on to the next thing. Yakuza Like a Dragon. I enjoyed it. Same thing happened. Viewership went way down after like the first stream of it. And it's a very long game, so I focused on just finishing the main story, and then I put it down, and I didn't do much of the side stuff. So, as a streamer, where the streaming is, you know, it's fun, but it also is paying the bills, I have to keep an eye on that, yeah. Watching you be meh with a game is boring, watching you hate it can be fun. Watching me hate it. Usually if I hate a game, I stop playing it. It's like, there's a lot of people that think I hate Warframe because I'm just very critical of it. But I don't. I mean, I enjoy playing it.
GW2uesday. Luck crafting go burr.
Thank you, Bob Soji. Yes, goes burr indeed. Appreciate the tip. When should I stop consuming green masterwork luck and make them into rares? My advice is save 1 stack of exotic luck in the bank. Because there is legendaries that require it, there is guild hall upgrades that require it. Like, you never want to get to a day where you want to craft something and you need a stack of luck and you have none, because then it's really going to take a while. But I usually tell people save 1 stack of exotic luck for those niche situations, and then eat all the rest. Muck, do you analyze if there's other stuff happening that may be temporarily stealing your viewers away? Not really, because, like, okay, let me give you some examples. Like, let's say it's, like, Halloween day, and that evening I have low viewership. Well, duh, lots of people with families are going out trick-or-treating, right? Like, I ignore outliers. If there's one day that the viewership tanks, and it's like, you know, people were watching the World Cup or the Super Bowl or something, then, you know, I can just ignore that one day on the data. But if it's multiple days in a row of something, then I'm like, okay, I need to stop.
I really liked watching Yakuza Skeptical.
Mark, I found a mistake. You're on day 2993, not 2992. Hang on. How many days since May 26th, 2018? Let's see. And not counting days. Yeah, we're on 2993. We should be on 2993. What's the stream title right now? You're right. It is off by one. Hang on. Oh, shoot. Give me a sec. I accidentally just closed like 50 tabs. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Change, update. Hold on, I have some paused YouTube videos. It's gonna start playing and then I gotta pause it again.
I saw where she went.
There it is. There it is. As soon as I said it. I was watching Grubby play Warcraft earlier, and because I had to reopen my tabs, it started playing again. Yeah, y'all ever wonder what streamer I watch when I'm not doing stuff? Grubby. The answer is Grubby. Alright, there we go. Alright, back to this one. Me and my hubby finished Split Fiction last night, and I think I'm still scared by the elephant murder. Wait, what? The elephant thing was not in Split Fiction. That was in, the other game they made. Yeah, It Takes Two, yes. Yeah. And yes, that was, pretty freaking weird. Okay, so now, over a small amount of time, I need to get stuff out of the mat storage and sell it as cooldown allows. First off, now we can go get more free stuff to fill our bags. The amount that you played, do you ever get strain on your wrist? Never to the point where it's really required any attention. But I will say there is a couple of builds in Guild Wars 2 that have left my wrist hurting at the end. Scourge is one of them. Because Scourge, I'm using like 1 through 5 and F1 through F5 a lot. And there's been times where I played Scourge for a few hours and my left wrist hurt. There's a cooldown on selling items. If you post too many sell orders on the trading post too quickly, it does lock you out for like 2 minutes. Do you have an idea of what weapons Road Toad Evokers use when fighting you? I would say the most common weapons I see Ellies use in World v World is Scepter Focus. And I know that because the Scepter has Dragon's Tooth, and it feels like all of them are using Dragon's Tooth on me. And the Focus is the big wind ability from air that shuts down all projectiles, which shuts me down, and I run into it a lot. Hey Mike, how are you? Doing okay, Tokizo? Hubby never heard of Split Fiction, so I sent him your Is It Worth It video. So if you got 2 views on that one, it was me. Thanks. Yeah, I will say, like, when it comes to playing different games and whether or not I get, like, wrist strain or something, like, the Last Spell and Total War are, like, this is turn-based always, so you're not clicking really fast. Total War is turn-based and open world, and it's real-time in battle. So this game doesn't consistently have you, like, clicking rapidly. So, it's fine. Warframe and Guild Wars 2, which I'm playing right now, do have some moments where there's like high-speed clicking and stuff, and Darktide somewhat. Like, would you sell mats now or wait for Season of the Four Winds? I personally don't, like, I've played the game for so long, I don't really pay attention to that. So, I don't know that what I'm doing is what you should be doing. You're mowing the lawn. It's Tuesday lawn care day. How can I get 40 LI, Muck? Help me. What, legendary insights? If that's what you're talking about, there's only one way to get them. Gotta go kill raid bosses, or raid encounter bosses. Or do the weeklies for killing raid encounter bosses. Well, I just want to say your wife is built different. A male friend of mine had a kidney stone. He needed 2 operations. He's bleeding and on sick leave for 2 days, maybe more, and your wife just did sport the next day. I do not want to get in a fight with her. I mean, okay. I would say that, based on my limited knowledge of kidney stones, I don't think it's fair to always do a one-to-one comparison, because don't they come in different sizes? Because I would assume if one person had a larger stone than another person, then the person with the larger stone is going to have more damage in their body. Condutas says, Mr. Muck, in your opinion, what's the best way to start doing tier 3 fractals without getting toxic players? I already have 110 agony resist now. You be the group leader. Make the group, and if someone is being, like, just insufferable, you can drop them. Just host the group. They come in different sizes. Also, women usually have an easier time dealing with them than men do. I don't know enough about this topic to give input, but yeah, because like when my wife had, I think this came up because I recently told a story where my wife was dealing with one, and her pain got really bad, and we actually went to a hospital, and then while she was there. Like, to be clear, she had already tried, you know, going many times before we left the house. We got there, and they asked her if she could, you know, pee in a cup, basically, so that they could get do some tests. And then when she went to do that in the cup, it came out. So we got, like, you know, some $100 bill for walking and peeing in a cup and leaving. So they didn't end up having to do anything. Okay. Alright. Now just gotta get the park alts. Showing dominance. How much harder are T4s than T3s? It's I mean, T1 to 2 is a small step up, 2 to 3 is a small step up, 3 to 4 is a small step up, and then 4 to, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. 4 to challenge modes usually adds more mechanics. $100 for a basic hospital triage is insane. Yeah, it's a couple things. Like, one, it's America. And two, most people get medical insurance through their employer. And what I do, legally speaking, I'm self-employed, you know? Like, I'm not Twitch's employee, I'm not YouTube's employee. I'm just a guy who sits at home and I use both of those services to make money, is how, you know, they view it legally. And because of that, the insurance I have is not great. So it's like, if I just get on a video call with a doctor for like 15 minutes, they'll hit me for like $200. And yeah, it sucks. Because like all the doctor's appointments I've had the last few months dealing with the vocal issue, it's been a lot of that. Hi. Hey, AJ. Tell your wife congrats on the beautiful baby rock. I mean, that thing was quite some time ago. I'm not sure why it was getting brought up today. Have you ever considered moving to a country with a working healthcare system? Moving to another country would be quite expensive. Additionally, all my family lives here, so that would mean moving away from family. And that would also mean having to, like, get citizenship and stuff like that. Like, I can't feasibly justify doing all that. Like, yeah, if I could magically snap my fingers and move somewhere, I would probably do the magic finger snap. But actually doing all of that, I don't think that I'm going to be doing that. If you could magic finger snap and move, which country would you choose then? There is a country... Okay, so there's two things that really concern me when it comes to, like, living somewhere. Do I have access to, like, good internet? And... Actually, three things. Good internet, good healthcare, and the schooling system, because my kid's in school. And there is... I forget which... I can never remember which country it is. It's in Europe. Or around Europe, and it's they've got like really they got some of the best in the world rates for education, and I think they go to school like less hours than most of the rest of the world as well. So Finland, okay, sure. So Finland, if they have good healthcare and internet on top of that, then I would definitely consider that if I could do the magic teleport. But you'd be next to Russia? My wife's Russian. I sleep next to Russia.
Comedic timing, Muck is saying.
Russia has no power
if I
here.
get on a doctor's appointment, they ads start playing.
I need to reread that. Muck is saying, so if I get on a doctor's appointment, and then ads start playing. I said, if I call for like a 15-minute doctor video call, it's like $200 is what they charge me. In Italy, we have great food, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but everyone has pizza these days, so it's fine. Finland's main source of healthcare is saunas. Saunas? We have actual pizza. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the The World Cup recently was really funny because there's so many clips of Europeans that came over here for the World Cup and experiencing America for the first time, and like the food just like blowing their minds, the free refills at restaurants blowing their minds. There was a bunch of them that tried to take bottles of ranch home, and the airline stopped them because they can't carry on sealed bottles of ranch because they'd get like possibly depressurized to like blow up. Also the heat, you know, they were like, oh my god, I always said that Europe heat was tougher. This is insane. It's like, yeah, because we're closer to the equator, you idiot. And we've got so much humidity. It's like you're breathing in a cup of water. It's rough. So it's been very enjoyable watching all of those reactions. Do you have ranch dressing in Italy, huh? Oh, it's... Ranch they can't take, but a raccoon holding a bottle is fine. A raccoon holding a bottle. That was oddly specific. Air conditioning. True. Yeah, there was, like... Alright, this is going to sound like I'm proud that we have gun violence. I'm not. It's like, obviously, America, one of, like, #1 in the world for, like, gun-related deaths and stuff like that. Which is awful, okay? I wish that wasn't true. But then, that one fact that came out recently, that it's like, Europe has more deaths per year to heat, like, the air, than America does with, like, gun violence. That blew my mind when I found out about that recently. It's like, you guys are so against air conditioning, you know, seemingly. And then that? Like, what? Like, they're so, like, anti-air conditioning. And yet, it's, like, one of, like, a huge cause of deaths. Europe is not just a country, you know? Well, yeah, but your countries are smaller than our states are, so it doesn't matter. We're not against AC, some of us are just poor. You can get a portable AC unit. And just, like, put it in whatever room you spend most of your time in. Japan should be Asia? Well, Asia's huge. Asia's massive. It's just embarrassing, our climate change alarmism. It's not that we are anti, it's more that we can't retrofit most houses because they're built 300 years ago. No, I don't buy that. Because, like, look, when I was working in tech support, the last job I had before I was doing this, the building we were in didn't have AC. And we literally went to the store and bought an AC unit that just mounts onto the wall and put it in the main room, and it cooled the whole building. You just had to leave some doors open most of the time for airflow to move around. Like, you don't have to retrofit the whole house for AC. You can get just a portable unit that just goes onto the wall. Like, hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find a picture of the one that we had. Okay, here we go. Like this. Wall-mounted air conditioner. This thing right here. This is basically what we got when I was in tech support. And this took care of, like, the whole building. This thing. Note, I'm not talking about the ones that sit in your window. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about this. It just cools the air inside the building. It'll increase your electric bill. Well, yeah, but you won't have a funeral bill, so it will, you know, pay for itself. Send you stuff for the giveaway. Thank you, Seth. Appreciate you. For the giveaway. All right. Oh my gosh. Thank you. We got Ectos, and we got a Polyluminescent Undulating Infusion Green. Lidless Eye. My contribution to the giveaway vault. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. How much is the funeral bill? It depends. Are we talking cardboard box or Egyptian pyramid? Or somewhere in between? Muck, if you live in an apartment, not a private house, to have one, you need to mount AC outside the apartment. To be able to do that, you need to get agreement from every single neighbor. So, okay, so I can understand if you live in a building that has really weird rules and you have to abide by those rules. Totally fair. But that doesn't constitute everyone in Europe. Can you not just get a portable AC unit that just sits on the floor? Yeah, you could. Like, if you want, you can get like a little one on wheels. The air has to go somewhere. You can have it just pull air from inside your home, cool it, and then spit it back out. Like, it can just cycle the air and get it cooler and cooler and cooler each cycle until you get to the desired temperature. That's how the interior ones work. There's a plastic pipe that goes out your window. Well, okay, with some of them there is. Like, okay, hang on a sec. So like these, there's no pipe. You see, it's just mounts on the wall. That's it. It just cycles the air inside. But if you get one of these, like this one right here, there's like a little tube that goes out the window. If you get one of those, yeah. But that's not like all air conditioners. There are ACs that don't need windows. I have one. Yeah. Like the wall mounted one that we put up in tech support, I helped hang it on the wall. Like there was no pipe. Oh, what is going on here? They have a bunch of tree buckets here. Welcome to Muck's AC chat. No, like I'm not an expert when it comes to AC. I have not worked in that, but I helped put a few up. And I know that they worked, and there wasn't a pipe, and it was just like cycling the air inside the house. Also, swamp coolers. When I lived in Utah, most of the homes there don't have air conditioners. They have swamp coolers, which is a whole different device. It looks like a big cube on the roof. And it still cools the house, but it does it in a different way. Okay, you want Team Blue now, World v World? Seems that way. Yeah, you can see the blue background up here at the top middle. That's how you can find out. I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now, chat. I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now. People discovering AC units is hilarious to me. No, like, dude, I'm not gonna blame people for not knowing about something that they don't have, but like, at the same time, you know, they're not all alike. Like, we were talking about, someone was saying, we can't retrofit a European home with AC. Like, okay, look, yeah, I get my home has 2 air conditioners in the attic, one for the first floor and one for the second floor. And those have, the big box outside the house, and it leads to that. And I have to replace the filters on it each year. And, like, I get that, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, like, the plug-and-play ones, basically. Wait. Oh, this is... Oh, he's not on the same side as them. Okay. So picked off the Harbinger. And he's green, so he's not going to be back here in the near future. Swap coolers really only work in an area that's not a lot of humidity. Yeah, I don't know much about the science behind swap coolers, but I do know that they were everywhere in Utah, and Utah has like 0 humidity because it doesn't look like it because it's all, built over, but it's technically a desert. It's super dry air. But here where I live in Georgia, it's like you're trying to breathe in and there's like a wet washcloth over your mouth. Okay. So now there's a Reaper and also the Scrapper on me. So I cannot stop them from taking this, I don't think. Yeah, she caught it. Unfortunate. Looks like they didn't follow me in the water. Muck, what do you suggest if I want to farm Carmen Dragonfall? How much at least you suggest to get if I want to grind it at least? What? I don't... Farm however much you need. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with that question. Farm however much you need. Does Swim Boost work in World v World? Yes. no camps near me that I could try to flip. This guy's like desynced or something. He was teleporting around while I was shooting him. Just trying to fill the astral power bar. Here in Florida, it's the same as like getting waterboarded by nature. Yeah. Yep, I've lived in Florida also. It is very high humidity. Yeah, it was weird because like when living in Georgia, if the temperature shifts just a couple of degrees, it could be the difference between you just like being comfy in a short sleeve shirt or your shirt is soaked with sweat. But then in Utah, it's like it could be 90 degrees or 20, and you could be outside in shorts either way. As long as no one threw a snowball at you, you could still be outside in shorts, and it would be fine. Muk, which reward track are you doing? Finishing up this, I was doing this one to get all the relics that I was missing from Janthier, and I got them all. So now I'm just finishing this one more time because it was almost done. And then I'll probably go back to the Gift of Battle track. Wait, can they shoot through that? Dredge just got here. I was like here trying to line of sight them around the corner, but they were able to shoot me through that. Wait, green is capping it? Can Dredge capture nodes? I thought they could just kill the NPCs. I didn't think that they could cap stuff. Look at that. Seems like, yeah. Oh, I learned something new. I mean, how much do you think I would need to farm Karma so that I can go a few months without farming and still be safe for Eternal Ice Shards? I don't know. It would depend on how, like, it depends on your Eternal Ice Shard income and how often you're liquidating it and need Karma. I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that. There's a whole lot of it depends there. It depends, it really does. You could put water wet sheets on open windows and thank me later. Well, yeah, if you're in a place that doesn't have AC and you're desperate, like, one thing I've done before, in a place I used to stay at, was, like, get an ice bucket and just get a fan right behind it, so the fan is blowing over the ice. And that's a kind of like a poor man's air conditioner for a while until the ice melts, then you have to replace it. Can't go that way right now. Hourly showers help. Hourly showers. I think your water bill might be higher than my AC bill. Mug, is there any legendary you hated crafting? I don't know of any I hated crafting. I will say Verderok and Shuka and Champawat both took a really long time. And part of it is that Shuka had like a big story attached to it, and Verderok was like, bring me 5,000 mithril and 5,000 elder wood. It was like, go chop down a forest and mine a mountain and come back. So that took a really long time. But no, I don't think there's any that I hated. Borax, because Bavanisos? I didn't mind that one. Uh-oh, someone just showed up over to the left, right as I started this fight. Few too many people's chasing me. Ugh. Mesmer. Yeah, I was fine 1v2ing, but the Mesmer did more damage than both of them combined. Purple explosion, and then dead. Why did they build Trebuchets on the notes? Not the best place to fight solo. I mean, I didn't really want to fight there. It just kind of ended up happening. But again, the issue wasn't that I was solo. The issue was that the Mesmer showed up and she did more damage than both of the previous people I was fighting beforehand. Mesmer Spear is pretty crazy. Was that a core Mesmer? No, it was a Chronomancer. But any Mesmer can do that spear stuff. Like, I'm running 2k toughness, and there is a Mirage build that can kill me from full health in 1 second, and the Mirage can start the combo from invisibility. And I can't really do anything about it. Like, even if you're wearing the highest toughness gear in the game, you can't really defend against the Mesmer Burst at this time. You have to just, like, know what's going to happen and dodge it before it happens. We love stealth builds of World v World. No, you guys don't. I run a trait that lets me stealth for 2 seconds after leaving Astral, and I never hear you guys stop whining about it. You guys love crying in World v World. Do you think it will be rebalanced soon? No. Would love if it would, but no. Is Mirage a PvP targeted spec? It's barely recommended in PvE. I mean... Mirage is a build that... I don't know that they're trying to make it like PvP only, because like the guy I just died to is Chrono. And he was also just using the Spear Burst. It's just, the Spear Burst on a Mesmer that knows how to use it is insane. It's very, very high damage. Like, he popped me in like 2 seconds, and I'm currently running, let me see, 2,099 toughness. Do you think it was stream snipers? No. No, I was, like, I was running around over here, and a bunch of people were chasing me, and I swam around this a few times, and then when I did the last pass, they got smart, and they climbed out of the water here and jumped me in the water on the other side, and I almost died. And then I went over this way, and the Mesmer and one other guy chased me all the way around, and then here, a Scrapper came out of the keep and cut me off, but this is Green's respawn. Dying near Green's respawn, dying near any enemy respawn, not gonna be complaining about getting sniped. I was right by where all the people pour out. I made a comment about how crazy Mesmer damage is, but I don't for a second think that they were stream sniping. I was very visible. I can lend my siege to these guys. Try to get the sentry over here. Oh, whoa. They either didn't see me or didn't care. They came out of the tunnel right behind me. Ah, they had other problems. Mooch some XP off of one of them. Oh my god. I've done all the map comp I can stomach for one day Warframe time. Usually for map comp, when I was doing it, like each day, I would just try to make a little bit of progress, you know? Get a waypoint, get a vista, maybe do a heart or two. And then after like 5 or 6 somethings, I'd be like, that's enough for today. And eventually it got done. But yeah, I couldn't do like a massive amount of map comp in one session either. Morning, all. Hey, Laura. How many core map comps did you do? Not, I don't know, like maybe 2 to 4? I'd have to double check my character select screen to see. But it was like, I did 1 on my Ranger, and then the others I did kind of by necessity because I was doing legendary projects. I did have her stunned for like 75% of that. But at the very end there, I ran out of CCs. And she didn't start moving, so I was like, wait, was she AFK? Because she just killed a guard a moment ago, so she might have like just tabbed out or something. This thing's immune to conditions. Use daily routine every day despite it's Tuesday or not, or only go over Tuesday. If you mean the daily routine where I farm like the homestead and the guild halls, I do that daily. I gotta keep my, you know, some kind of stream of income to be able to do giveaways for you guys every Tuesday. Great news, I got a new job. Muck, your stream audience is safe for now. I won't be stealing them anymore. You imply that your old job involved stealing people from the audience? Oh yeah, I was a kidnapper. Oh, okay. Minute 45 on this camp. Wait a moment on that. Celix, that's very alarming. Thank you. Look, will you play Dark Anthology Directive 8020? I don't know what that is. I have played 5 Dark Anthology games already. So if it's like another Dark Anthology game, actually wait, sorry, 4. If it's another Dark Anthology game, I don't mind playing it. Those fall under the umbrella of, this is horror. Muck doesn't like horror, but Muck likes entertaining his audience, and his audience likes Muck suffering to horror. So, it's under that category. How are you telling how long until the camp can be flipped? Mouse over the icon of the camp on the minimap and it says 20 seconds remaining, or click on the boss of the camp and mouse over their debuff. Or buff in this case. Wait, who just showed up?
Hopper.
They're Stop it. Okay, so they're fighting Dredge, which belong to a different faction. So this is a three-way battle currently. Ah, crud. Weaver and a core thief. Oh my god. I just got interrupted twice. Alright, the thief is down. Mist form. Nice. I win. Gonna entangle this Doliac so I can kill it while it's outside the circle and still cap at the same time. That was a really scary opener. The moment that thief jumped on me, I lost like 75% of my health. And I was immediately thinking, I'm gonna lose this. If this is the damage of the thief and the Weaver hasn't hit me yet, I'm going to lose. And I don't know. I guess he just had trouble sticking to me after that. I'm not really sure what happened there. It's like he was a massive threat for the opener, but then he like just couldn't keep up with me after that. Like, what are the chances that Dredge are playable Racing Guild Wars 3? I don't know. One funny thing about the Dredge is this is canon. There's an NPC that leads the Dredge named Mole Lennon, and he leads what's called the Moletariat. Like, this is in the lore. Again, absolutely chunked me, but then that. What ability grew the tree? When a thief uses steel on a ranger, they basically get an additional heal skill that cures conditions on them, and when they use it, the graphic is a tree grows where they're standing. So it's, whenever he does the summon tree thing, he used steel on me and then used the follow-up skill. So a thief fighting a ranger basically has a second heal that is a condition cleanse at the same time. It'd be kind of funny if those two people that just died to me twice respawn and come back a third time and run into that horde. Alright. My job here is done. Actually, hold on a sec. I'm gonna take these out because if left alone, they will go decap the camp that I just took. I don't want that to happen. You know, the dredge have constant CC. The frogs are immune to poison, and I do use poison. I don't even know what the ogres do over on the east camp. I know that they're the least annoying group for me to fight, but I don't even actually know what they do that sets them apart from the others. They spam weakness. Not really bothered by that. I like that the dredge are immune to blind. Yeah, dredge are immune to blind, the frogs are immune to poison. Just curious, how are you getting in-game music to play like this? Is it a mod or are you playing it off a playlist? It's literally Windows Media Player. I have a folder with a whole bunch of songs that by trial and error I have found are safe from the copyright strike thing going on. And I'm playing those songs on a shuffled loop. It's just something that I, as a streamer, have had to do because there is someone that is not legitimate that keeps claiming Guild Wars 2 music and basically taking income away from streamers if they play that music. And the default World v World music is one of the songs that they keep claiming. This build changed much in a year for World v World. What, Condi Druid? A little bit. Like, just less than a month ago, Astral 4 and Staff 2 got a makeover. And they are much different to use now, in a good way. But, like, you could play Condi Druid a year ago, yes. I don't know that this is the same build from then. Almost got their morale down. The timing on them when you were fighting was awesome. Yeah, I got lucky it worked out that way. Alright. That's done. I don't know if I can beat this guy, but let's try. Dude, how much CC does that do? I was like, all right, I'm not gonna stun break this because I'm just gonna move out of it, and then I got like stunned 3 times in a row. Did that poison land before he teleported? Yeah, it did. Oh, he's air hair. Okay. I've mentioned before, any fight where it's me versus the electric rabbit evokers, it's a very fast fight because they do a ton of damage, but they also have very low health, which to me feels fair. They are glass cannons. And either I win or I lose pretty quick versus them. Like, it can go either way, but it's fast. Okay, if it was 2, I would try, but there's 3 there chasing me. Oh boy.
Hey man,
oh boy.
New player here. Love your guides.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for putting in the work.
You are very welcome. Instant transmission. You are very welcome. Appreciate the tip as well, keeping me in business. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, for those that didn't see what was happening there, I was here, and there was a bunch of greens here and here. And it's like, my only choice still stay alive there was go back in the tunnels or teleport to the waypoint. And so I just went to the waypoint because there was nothing I needed in the tunnels. I had just finished in there. Go try to hit Pengalos. I just got the Mistwalker infusion for the World v. World Leggy. Now I need to kill 100 people. If you join a blob that's fighting, and you just keep, you know, either hitting what they hit or give them boons or heals, so that you get credit for what they hit, you can get that done, like, in less than an hour. But if you're solo roaming like I am, it can take a much longer amount of time. Any suggestions on how to farm Crocodite ore for the Vision Quest? I need something close to 3k of it. The way that I got a lot of that, Laura, was the Eternal Ice Farm, ! Ice if you need a guide on that. And basically, I parked some characters by chess, and each day they got me ice, and then every couple days I would just trade in all the ice for Crocodite. So at that point, I didn't have to actively farm it at all. It just like trickled in day by day until I got it done. Ooh, I was considering hitting that resource camp, but what is that, 4 greens? It's a friendly up there. Alright. Shoot. Ah, it's a bummer. Crap. Yeah. Bit too many. So the Red Untamed, I thought he was going to get trapped in there, and they would be fighting him, and then I could join in, and it would be, like, 1v1v4. And then I saw another friendly tag in there, so I was hoping it was going to be a 2v1v4. But they all ran. I was like, no, my decoys. So, since the other people I was hoping would be involved in the fight took off, it was just me and 4. Maybe 5. His Spectral Walk just wore off. Got him. Ah, crud. Why isn't my movement skill working? Oh my god, I had to hit that so many times. It was either lag or I was just getting constant, very small dazes. I couldn't tell. Oh no, I hope no one dismounts me and forces me to fight. I really hope that doesn't happen. Oh, wait, this is, okay. Alright, so I'm blue. That's a red and a green fighting right now. Shoot. Whoa, rallied. Dude, I don't even... Are they both Condi? I don't even know who's doing all these conditions to me right now. Shoot. Yeah, I think both of them are Condi. That's a Condi Zerker and a Condi Harbinger, and there's a good amount of CC there too. I think the Harbinger might be running, what is it called, Blood Bank? Because he had barrier on him the entire fight too. Hey, Asimo. Spear Mesmers get my butt on Bunker Lumi. Their damage is too high. Because like, even if you're playing a full toughness build, they can kill you, like a good one can kill you from full health in less than 1 second. Spear Mesmer damage is, in my opinion, far too high for PvP game modes. New Guild Wars 2 blog post. You got a link to it? I'll check it out if you do. Wait, what? Oh, it's invulnerable. Okay, awesome. God, invulnerable. Through her whole burst, she was invulnerable. That was close. Oh my god. Constantly something preventing me from capping this. Ugh. Dude, go! Oh my gosh. So many clicks for that movement skill to go off. My pet won't summon. I don't know why. Okay, there it goes. It just took an hour. What is happening? Dude, I am fighting European internet and Europe at the same time. My lunge twice now has not gone to where this lady was. Invulnerable. That's 3 times the lunge has not gone toward her. There we go. Oh my gosh. Dude, I was fighting like it felt like the entire green team and internet issues at the same time there. That was stressful. New York's 2 blog posts. Oh yeah, someone linked it a second ago. Hang on. Okay, I have it open. Next time I die, we'll check it out. See if it's anything that's newsworthy. She was one of the ones that was chasing me earlier. She might have been AFK. I didn't know that if she was, I didn't know that. I thought she was waiting around the corner for me. Hey, Muck. Hey, Lord Fitna. What's up? Dude, my stun break is... Oh my god, it took so long. A third person just joined in. And a fourth. The warrior was fine. The warrior +1 was fine. The third and the fourth person was too much. Okay. Oh my god. Dude, these lag spikes I'm getting are making it almost unplayable. Alright, what is the blog post about? World v World War Score, Beta 2 results, and what's next? Okay. So, War Score, I believe, hang on a second, is like this right here. I don't know about you guys, but I never really look at that. Like, I've really been enjoying World v World lately, but it ain't for War Score. Like, I don't really care about the War Score. I'm wondering what percentage of World v World players actually look at that. It's a bigger deal to World v World guilds who try to win the week-long matchups. Yeah, I could see that. Now no one cares. They should get more rewards for winning. That's true. If there was like a good reason to, like, if the team who got the top score got some like extra prizes or something notable, it could be cool. But as it is now, I completely ignore it. EU care because of the teams we're going to fight against. Nobody wants to link with Rome. Rome? I know Mag has a reputation. Hey, Mike, how's the voice doing? Actually, a little better. For those that have been following that, I somehow injured my, like, vocal cords in December. Or, like, my throat around the vocal cord area. And for the past, like, 6-7 months, talking triggers pain. Like, talking equals pain. And so that, you know, there were certain days I had to, like, end stream early or, like, cancel streams altogether, stuff like that. The 5th doctor I visited put me on a drug called amitriptyline that's supposed to help with nerve pain. And I've been on it for some weeks now, but apparently it takes time to get in your system. So, like, when you start taking it, you don't really notice anything for weeks. And the last, like, 3 or 4 days have been, like, I almost feel normal. Like, not quite, but it's like I almost feel how I felt before the injury, which is the first time that's happened in, like, you know, many months. So I'm hopeful that this is the answer. What I don't know is, do I just take it for a while, or do I have to take this for the rest of my life? I don't know. I have to ask him. Were you getting painful swallowing? Rarely. Like, there was some overlap between the throat, like, for, like, eating and drinking and the injury and talking. Because sometimes I would eat or drink something that would hurt. Oh. Wait, you? I'm confused. Oh, there's a second guy here. Is there a third now? I think there's a third person now. I don't wish to fight a thief underwater. Thief is, in my, like, IMO, the only unbeatable class underwater. Everyone else is a chance. Whoa! I actually want to look at the log and see what hit me there. So it was the ranger. He was a soul beast. He was merged with his pet. He used one wolf pack. Then he did Feeding Frenzy, the thing where I throw piranhas at people. But because he's full power with one wolf pack, it did 1100, 1600, 1100, 1400, 1400, 1400, 6700, 1400, 1400, 1400, 1900, 1k, 1600. Okay, yeah, he's probably full Berserker Glass Cannon, and then he did merge one wolf pack and that. The only part about that annoys me is Feeding Frenzy has a graphic, and it didn't show me any of the graphic. If it had, I would have dodged when I had started seeing it. But because he was in the water and I was out of the water, it didn't generate the graphic of the piranha at all, so I didn't know it was happening until it was over. That's the only part I got a problem with, is it didn't render anything. Because it should have had, like, when you're in the water, it shows piranha and, like, a swirl of, like, bloody water around you. And so you know to dodge, but it didn't do it. Muk fought against Rome some weeks ago. I don't think he saw any macro users just spawn camping. Wait, what? I had a problem talking a long time, and Homovox helped with that. What is Homovox? Is that a drug? I'm Googling. Over-the-counter homeopathic medicine made by Boiron, designed to relieve hoarseness, loss of voice, and strained vocal cords. Gotcha. I haven't heard of it. I hadn't come across that one before. shoot. He's like evading the whole time. I can't hit him. I feel like at some point the game should be like, you've evaded too much, you've hit your quota on evades, you can't evade again for the for 30 seconds. He reflected my shots. Finally. Wow. So this guy, far less bursty than most of the thieves I have fought today, but he was like, I couldn't hit him. He was only using skills where he evades while attacking. So it was like 90% of my attacks did not land. That was not fun to fight against. I would avoid him in the future. Like, even though I won, I would try to avoid him again in the future because that was just like, it took a long time and it was irritating. It's funny that you said that, Muck. I agree. WoW had diminishing returns on CC. I was wondering if this game had that. From what I see, it doesn't. No. No, the thing is... okay, so WoW had diminishing returns on CC. I was making a kind of a joke just to blow off some steam about diminishing returns on evasion, which is not a thing. But WoW had... You know the PvP trinket in WoW that you break out of CC? In this game, those skills are called stun breaks, and you can run... Most classes, you could bring up to 3 of those into a battle. So there's no limit on hard CC, but there's also, you know, more stun breaks available. Additionally, there is a buff called stability, and if you have that, you are immune to hard CC. Whoa, what? Why did I tab target a mucking mosquito when I am... That was frustrating. I lost target for a moment and tried to tab target her to get it back, and I got a mosquito. It's like, why? Mux says, a few friends and I are trying World of Warcraft for the first time. What do you suggest we do? Find a big group and join them. And if you can't join the squad, just follow them around, hit what they hit. You'll actually get, like, the maximum possible money and rewards that way. But also, at the same time, you can learn. Like, when they go to a place and pick up supply, be like, okay, they're doing this. When they go and they put down siege, be like, okay, this is a good spot to put down siege. So you can absorb information while making good coin, and you don't have to worry about, like, getting farmed because you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, going back to the previous conversation, because this game has ways to block CC, and it has multiple ways to break out of CC, it doesn't have diminishing returns. But honestly, the balance is not really there. Because, like, for example, the most CC I could have is 3 stun breaks. And a Spellbreaker has, like, 12 ways to make me need to pop a stun break. Mike, I tried your build in World v World Rush. I suck. I don't have the spatial and timing awareness. I mean, if you try any new build that you've never played for the first time, there's going to be a learning curve. I've played Druid for so long, though, this is kind of like muscle memory to me, but even then, as you've seen, I can't beat everyone. Nor should I be able to, but just speaking facts. I'm pretty new to Guild Wars 2. I never seen anyone playing the other PvP mode. Is it bad, or is it just less fun than World v World? So... okay, I have played a lot of the other game mode. Hang on, let me show you. I have 6,102 games played in Conquest. However, Conquest is 5v5. I do enjoy it, but the problem is that Conquest, the PvP balance could be better, right? For example, right now there is a class called Amalgam. In my opinion, Amalgam is currently overpowered. If I go into Conquest and it's 5v5 and the enemy has an Amalgam, the game is probably in the bag for them. But I have to play it out. I'm trapped in there for 5 to 15 minutes, and I have to play out the game. In World v World, if I run into a person I can't beat, I can just avoid them, right? Like, it's massive scale. Like, right now, I'm here on this map. So if there is someone that is just, like, farming me, I could be like, okay, this is frustrating. I can't beat this guy. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So World v World is nice for that. Also, the balancing they do for the game is not the same for World v World and PvP both. The class I'm currently playing, one of my main skills has a 10-second cooldown in World v World, and it has a like 15 to 20-second cooldown in Conquest. Damn it, she popped invuln. So I just tried to daze her, she blocked it. Got her. Man, her opener on me did so much damage, it instantly killed my my pet. Huh, it's weird. One of the dredges was way behind the others. pull these two together, and then I can cleave them both. Hey, Nog. I was into Team Fortress Classic on the day. Oh, same. I always played either Medic or Engineer. Anything new with the gem store today? Don't think so. Well, Foggy Forest Homestead Sky, I think, is new. So if you're really into homesteads, there's that. Did you ever stand outside enemy spawn rooms as medic and just infect them with your medkit? I feel like I would die too fast trying that. No. I did try building turrets on Engineer right outside their spawn. Oh, she just waypointed out. Alright, took their supply camp. I got both their supply camps now. So I guess next I go up and mess with Red. I'm new to World v World, just started playing on my Ellie. I know pick the hardest class to jump into World v World, but can you explain the difference of the maps? I really don't get it. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. Give me just a minute. Let me get out of this cave so I'm not getting shot, and I'll try. Concussion jumping was medic passive. Yeah, I remember conch jumping. Throw a concussion grenade down, jump on it, and rocket yourself across the map. That was a skill that took a lot of practice. Okay, so, to the person who asked about the World v World maps, okay? There are, let's say this is the main one, and then these are each called something something Borderlands, right? These are the Borderlands, they are surrounding this one. The Eternal Battlegrounds has 3 factions. There's Keep, 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 and each Keep has 2 towers and 2 supply camps near it. Actually, 3 towers, sorry. And there is a neutral thing in between each area connecting them, and then in the middle is the only castle in all of the maps. This is the most popular map because it's the only one with a castle, so it can generate some of the biggest fights. That doesn't mean the other maps are dead, they're just different. On all the other maps, again, there's Keep, 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 or sorry, I said Keep, 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 that's not true. This is Spawn Point, Spawn Point, Spawn Point, and then Keep, Keep, and Keep. The Keeps are much closer together, and then in the middle, there are these 5 little ruins. And any team that has 3 of them gets a buff. So all the members of the team have a little bit higher stats if you've got 3 of them. Same here, there's 5 ruins, there's 3 keeps, and over here, this map is the exact same as this map. And and they're making a new Borderlands maps. They're probably going to replace one of these 2 Alpine Borderlands. The 2 that are the same are Alpine Borderlands, and this one that's different is the Desert Borderlands. They made this one around the time of Path of Fire, which was desert themed, so this map is a bit different. This is a less popular map because it's very, very large, and if you die, it's a lot of running to get back to any action. So that one's a little less popular than the others. This is the most popular, so I would say it's probably most popular, and then these 2, and then this one. Edge of the Mist is another game mode they tried out that didn't really get popular, so there's usually not many people there unless they're doing a quest. And Edge of the Mist, you cannot use mounts there. So everyone's moving at running speed. So that's a general synopsis, but if there's anything there I didn't answer, let me know. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. I might have her. Nope. Nope. She had a cleanse still. She interrupted my hit there. Got her. Oh, God, the dots. She hurt. I was barely able to keep up with her damage, like, in a controlled way. The main thing is, like, anytime she came out of stealth, she was doing that dagger launch thing, so before she would appear, I would always see her knives floating in the air wherever she was about to appear at. And then every time I saw the knives suddenly come into existence, I would dodge roll. I noticed you don't use Instagram targeting. Is there a reason? Because I can this way I can change my mind. So I can be like, all right, I'm gonna go. No, that's not good. Cancel. That's why. Yikes! This is going to be rough. So this is a lot of mobs, and I target cap at 5, so I cannot hit all of these at one time. Oh shoot, the Mesmer's back. I don't mind fighting her, but I can't fight her and all of this at the same time. What's that? Dragon Hunter. Alright, they got the chain on me. That's not good. I might be dead here. Yeah. Yep. Nope, no, wait, what just happened? I rallied. Okay, the Dragon Hunter is down. Does the Virtuoso realize it? Wait, is there 2 Mesmers on me? There's 2 Mesmers. There's an Asura Mesmer, and there is a human Mesmer on me. Okay, I killed the Dragon Hunter. So, one of the mobs that I hit with my splash damage died, which gave me a rally. That's a clone. Dang, I almost had him dead, but other people showed up. How can you tell between clone and real? The buff bar. The real one has a food buff. Clones don't eat. Fake, real. I think this is a support Tempest that's just like spamming heals on the other guy. I got some good damage on him. There we go. Alright, so now I gotta keep hitting him while the other guy is trying to res him. I don't know what happened, but the Tempest just blue screened. Nice. Okay. That was hard fought. Now, the issue is that their respawn is right up there. So they can respawn there and glide down and be back here really fast if they want to. So, yeah, you see all these blue buffs on my buff bar? They're not boons, but they're buffs. Clones won't have those. So if you have a Mesmer and a bunch of fakes coming at you, and if you have a second to, like, tab between them, you can be like, tab, 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 there's all the buffs. Another way is the movement. Clones will usually shoot at you or just run at you in a straight line. If you see them strafing like this, you know, sidestepping at all, that's the real one. The fakes won't strafe. Is there a link to this druid build? It's funny you ask that because there will be very soon. If you just want to copy the build, exclamation build in the chat, there's a link to my ranger. You can click on it and you can copy the build. But if you want a guide on the build, my editor actually messaged me this morning that they just finished editing it. So I need to go watch it, check for any mistakes, make a thumbnail, and it will be on the YouTube channel in the coming days. Okay, so that Mesmer just changed from Chrono to Virtuoso. Fortunately, there is a lot of dredge over there, too. He went invis. Okay, he reappeared. Dodge that. Dude, you want to fight? Come fight me. He wants to fight me while I'm fighting 11 other NPCs.
Tie.
You're very welcome, Blood. Thank you. He's right here. He interrupted my heal. He killed my pet. There's a green guy there too. I'm blue. So we've got a three-way battle here, but the NPCs are all red. Try to line of sight them over here. the NPCs are still shooting me, which is making this more problematic. Invuln. Whoa! I just lost so much health. Back away for a moment. He is invulnerable again. Invulnerable again. He's bugged. He's not here. He's desynced. I could tell because the pet knows where stuff is server side, and the pet was going for him. Got him. He might teleport. He did. He's still in cleave range, though. Line these up so I can shoot through them. Get rid of that filthy mesmer. I did! We did a good deed. Okay. I don't have to kill these NPCs to cap this. I just got to keep them out of the circle. Food buff's wearing off. Nice. Okay. I got it! That was hard fought. Now again, if I cared about the rewards, like, that was a lot of work for one kill. You know, and in that time a blob could get like 50 kills or something, but these are more memorable. Now, I killed him as a Chrono, and he changed to Virtuoso, and he fought me as a Vert. And I can't say if, like, I was fighting him and all those mobs at the same time. So I don't know if it was harder just because of the mobs, or if he was a better Vert than he was a Chrono. I think he was probably better at Vert. Have you seen the Warframe event that started today? Mm-mm. Don't know anything about it. I logged into Warframe last night just to get daily login rewards, but I don't know anything about an event. I got 200 hours of Heroes 2. I'm starting to get bored. Should I make a new account and try a new class? You can try a new class without making a new account, unless you're trying to do like a, you know, hardcore challenge run or something. A lot of the stuff that you've unlocked in Guild Wars 2 in your 200 hours is account bound. Such as, you know, like, if you have any mounts, or if you have any masteries, or, you know, like, everything that's in your wallet. Your wallet is all account bound. And if you make a new account, you would lose all of that on the new account. So I would say, you know, make a new character if you want to. I don't think you need to do a new account unless you're doing some kind of challenge run. I'm gonna pretend like I don't see him. That's unfortunate. That pull that just happened. Are they still here? Ah, here we go. Alright, the projectile block was because I knew he was going to throw knives at me. Is that the same guy I fought earlier? I don't think it is. This is a problem. Oh my god, these conditions. Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much. Yeah, the very first movement skill I tried to do there, I got pulled mid-movement. So, like, I started to go forward and got yanked back, and that was my largest movement skill for making space. So, after that, I was in trouble from, like, that point on. Do you have multiple days skills? My build? Okay, so hold on, what do I have? So my 5 on short bow, because concussion shot, it does daze if it hits them in the front, but it does a side if it, a stun if it hits them in the side or the back. So that is a potential daze. When I go into astral form, the 3, which is the one that looks like this, that is a 2-second daze if it lands on them and they don't block it or dodge it. That's a daze. That's pretty much it. Like, that's... And then I've got the shark 1-second knockdown on that. There was... the recent patch removed a daze. There used to be a daze on this skill where when you enter astral form, it dazes anyone that's right next to you for, like, 1 second. That used to be there, but they got rid of that. So right now I'm running 2... like 3 dazes, I guess, but one of the, or sorry, 3 CCs. This one is a daze or a stun depending on the angle it hits. The pet one is a short knockdown, and the astral 3 is a daze. Now, if, are you on YouTube only? No, I'm on Twitch also, Ornery. If I wanted to, I could run Glyph of Equality, which is a stun break, and when you use it, it does like a little burst and it dazes people around you. So it can be used as a stun break, or you can use it to like chain CC if you're hitting somebody else. I prefer to use Signet of Renewal there, but it is an option. Muk, would you consider making a beginner's guide to skirmishing in World v World unless you have already? I have a beginner's guide to World v World. Exclamation WV, I see him behind that tree. Exclamation WVW pulls that up. I have a guide coming out very soon on how to play this build and like literally everything I know about the build and all the tricks I use. Noxxi just finished editing that earlier, so I need to watch it, look for any problems, see if I need to send it back to her, and make a thumbnail, and then that will go up on the main YouTube channel in the coming days. So that'll be coming soon. Is EVG more of roaming the map and other Zergs? Every map has people that roam, like what I'm doing, and has big blobs that run around. But I'll say, because EVG is the only map with a castle, it is the most popular map for blobs. So usually this map will fill up first on population, and then the others will fill up after that. So like, usually if there is a queue to get into a game, EBG is the first one to get a queue. I like Protect Me as a stun break. Protect Me is very good, yeah. Because Protect Me gives you a stun break, it gives you barrier, it gives you protection, and if you are running this trait, protection heals you just like regen does. So it also gives you healing. Also, it's an AoE stun break. This is very rarely needed, but if you're near an ally who is stunned, like you and the ally get stunned at the same time and you hit protect me, it breaks them out of the stun too. Okay, so this is a green camp, and there is a red guy that is currently working on clearing the camp. He just used his heal skill. And he is currently invincible. I rooted him to the ground. Okay, he's down. Okay, so I'm gonna leave Tony on him, finish off the supervisor, and then I just have to kill the scout. See, if I kill him, he's gonna start respawning. But if I drag out his death, then that's a few more precious seconds that he's respawning, and he's not immediately running back over here to kill me again. And if any enemies are going to come at me, it would be there or there. Alright, nice. Successfully stole his stolen camp. I'm gonna get this guy next. Do you think Guild Wars 2 will be dead after Guild Wars 3? Not dead, no. So, okay, Guild Wars 1 and 2 are very different games. We have been led to believe that Guild Wars 3 and 2 are going to be very different games. I'll bet you there will be a bunch of people here right now that will try Guild Wars 3 and hate it. And there will be some that will try it and like it. There will be some that will probably play both, you know, like Path of Exile. Yeah, the company that makes it is supporting Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2. And it's the same players on both. They just go to whichever one has the newest update, right? So, like, if you've got people that are like, oh, Guild Wars 3 has a new update this month, the Guild Wars 2 has a new one next month, I'm going to go back and forth, you know, they're fine with that. It's not a subscription-based model, so the company doesn't have to sweat about player numbers fluctuating. So I think it's going to be fine. Like, I could say as a creator, I'm definitely going to try Guild Wars 3. I might hate it. It might suck. I don't know. But I'm absolutely going to try it, and if I like it, I might, devote, like, a whole month to just playing everything at launch to pieces, and then after that, maybe I'll do Guild Wars 2 one day a week and Guild Wars 3 one day a week. Guild Wars Tuesday and Guild Wars 3's day. So, we'll see. So, I do not think the game is going to be dead. They also said that they're going to have a dev team for each of the 3 games supporting all 3 of them. A lot of people completely abandoned PoE after PoE 2 came out. Some, but, I mean, I don't have any player numbers to have that conversation, but what I do know is that, they have said, like, Grinding Gear Games has said that, they see player numbers go, skyrocket at the start of a new season, and then go down over time, and then skyrocket again at the start of the next new season. And they're okay with that. They're like, we're not trying to keep our customer base 100% of the time. We know that they will want to play other games, and that's fine. We just want to be good enough that they want to come back from time to time. What's something that's fun to do at level 80 free to play? PvP, World v World, World bosses. There's a couple of raid encounters available to you. Thank you. There's a couple of raid encounters available to you. World map completion. Finishing the story if you haven't already. Fractals. which are like, you know, 5-man dungeons. Ooh, that's hot. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can do this. The statement over people having left PoE2 over PoE2 or PoE1 is false. So, again, what I'm saying is, like, many people that enjoy Path of Exile also enjoy Path of Exile 2. They enjoy Diablo, they enjoy Grim Dawn, they enjoy Last Epoch. They enjoy other ARPGs, and they will go to the one that has, like, the newest update, and they'll play that one. So, it's not horrible if the player numbers fluctuate because they come and go. And because there's not a subscription-based pricing model, it's okay if the player numbers for one of those games goes down, as long as it comes up again in the future. That doesn't hurt them at all. So, like, for example, I enjoyed Guild Wars 1. It was a fun 100-hour game for me. Guild Wars 2 is crack for me. I've got 10,000 hours in this. I don't know if Guild Wars 3 is going to be a 100-hour game or a 10,000-hour game for me. I'm going to try it. I know I'm going to try it, but I don't know if it's, you know, what level of fun I'm going to have playing it. And we'll find that out soon enough. Oh, I'm so glad that was a friendly, because this is a lot to deal with and have another player attack me at the same time. Oh, there's other players attacking me. Crap. Oh, this is the Tempest I fought earlier. I recognize his portrait. Ah, shoot. I think I'm dead. My Conde cleanse failed. Oh no, the wall! The wall! Holy crap. Fly! I am pleasantly surprised I got away from that. I would like to go back in there and try again, so we'll see if they leave. Oh, that one's just waiting there. He's watching me. Enjoy your food. Thank you. Did you watch the new Spider-Man movie? I don't think so. The last Spider-Man movie I saw was the animated one with Miles Morales. It was a few days ago? Then no, I haven't. Muck, I started the quest to do your back piece, and oh my god, it's long. Do you mean the one from Fractals? The one from Fractals is one of those where, like, when I found out that Legendary existed, I looked at the requirements to make it. I was like, oh my god, I'm 75% done. Because I had already done so many Fractals. Alright, I know this guy's gonna jump me. Alright, this is an amalgam. In my opinion, the most overpowered thing right now. So I have to simply hope here that this is a bad one. She's not great, but good enough to beat me. As most of the amalgams I run into, I can't get them below 100% health. But I think if I was fighting her in a big open area instead of that tight tunnel where her AoE was hitting the entire tunnel width, I think I would have done better outside. What makes them so strong? It's just the whole kit. They could do lots of damage while having lots of mobility, while constantly cleansing themselves, while generating barrier, and while just having like every boon in the game. It's a very complete kit. And like, even if I'm trying to hit back, she's got stability sometimes, she's reflecting my arrows sometimes, so it's not like the case of Glass Cannon, where it's like, oh, you know, this lightning evoker does a lot of damage, but they're also squishy. Like, amalgams do tons of damage and they're not squishy. Why does your game look so good? That's my graphics settings if you want to copy them. I'm not using any shaders or anything. I see max zoom is common. It sucks because you don't really see much of your character. Well, I mean, I zoom in as needed, but I mean, yeah, if I just want to have like a bigger field of view, this is all the way zoomed out. Oh, someone got it. Go for the guard post. My pet is like not rendering? That is very strange. Someone just fell and splattered on the ground. As much as I agree on Amalgam being really good right now, NG did need something after Mechanist. Half agree. I know what you mean, but at the same time, the solution to a class having an underpowered elite specialization should not be make them their next elite spec overpowered, right? It should be balance the one that's busted and then make another one. Also, where Mechanist fails in water and in PvP, Mechanist is incredible in PvE. Like, dude, I remember there was such a long period of time where Mechanist was like, every DPS was mech in like Harvest Temple CMs and stuff like that. Because they could, you know, split their damage while being very far away from the robot. 25 seconds. Previous 2 stream... Wait, what? Hold on. Is today the 2993? Was the last spot 2991? It was pointed out to me that at some point in the last few days I forgot to roll the number over. So I did a double check, and yeah, it is 2993. So next Tuesday... Yeah, this coming Tuesday the 11th. So 7 days from now, I'll have been live every day for 3,000 days. And we'll have some kind of party. We'll have some giveaways and some guild wars. All the good stuff. I have to kill the quartermaster. True solo Vermintide Twitch Mutiny Monday $29.99. Dude, that sounds insane. Yeah, Vermintide, the 4-player game, playing it solo while you guys can draw bosses and stuff on me? I don't know about that. You've not been on holiday for 8 years? I'm the kind of person where my favorite vacation is just sending everyone else in the house on vacation and me being home alone. That's my vacation. Like, I don't like traveling. Let's go through the tunnel. Mark, sorry to be a pain, but efficiency doesn't tell me your pets. I see Ether Hunter, but the rest, including aquatic. Oh, sure. Yeah, like I said, the guide will be out soon. My other land pet is the juvenile siege turtle. Because in an emergency, I can swap to it and deploy the bubble, so I've got like a spot that I can recover in. And the water pets are currently the shark and the jellyfish that it has an F2 that's a chill. What is that? Blue jellyfish. HTCM prog on stream 3000? No. Okay, how many... Alright. Dude, God. Think I'm dead here. Yeah. That was really stupid of the green guy. So, there was one green and like 3 reds. And I started attacking the reds, and the green guy comes in and immediately does rapid fire on me. I'm like, dude, they're the ones killing your teammate, not me. So I did not expect that behavior. Muck reminded me of this when I saw one mention Mutiny Monday, but can you please get that last achievement in Riftbreaker? You have almost 600 hours in that game. Dude, I have 1,800 hours of Total War, and I'm still trying to get all the achievements. Where's Riftbreaker? What am I missing? Excalibur. Make an extreme quality sword with 3 extreme mods. I mean, I could probably just load like an old save and do that. I remember the only one that required me to really play differently was the one that was called Going Green. And it was like beat the game with only like solar and wind and geothermal power. And don't use any of the other power sources. Give me a sec. I might die, but I am like sweating in here. I think someone had touched the thermostat, which is unacceptable. Dad and thermostat. Well, in this case, I mean, here, I'll give you guys a thing. So, it was set to 77. And, let's see, 77F2C. And in my office, it's always warmer by a few degrees because I've got 2 computers and 3 monitors and all the lights in here for the stream, right? So in here, it was probably over 80, okay? So for you people in Europe, it was over 26 degrees Celsius in my office. So I could tell because like I was starting to sweat and I'm like, all right, I gotta get up. So this isn't just like, yo, you touched the thermostat and I'm dead. No, I was sweating. I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot. Laughing at 30 Celsius at home. If that works for you, that's fine. Doesn't work for me. My friends and I are attempting Ura Legendary Challenge Mode. Any good guides out there? I don't have a guide on that one, so... And I've never attempted that. I made, like, a guide for basic Ura, but not CM or LCM, so I can't help you with that one, I'm afraid. Nog says he thinks Snow Crows has one. Do you have any ventilation? I have a fan above me that's on, like, anytime I'm in this room, because, again, this room is always hotter than the rest of the house. But it wasn't enough. Let's see if any of them follow me. Welcome to my habitats. Your people have called me Shark Rat one time too many. He's in vengeance mode. He's gonna die in a second. Yeah, I think there's like a fight going on over here, and he was trying to get there to hit someone, try to get a kill real quick. It didn't work though. People who actually know their underwater rotation are busted. Like, I will take any fight underwater, except if it's with a thief. Thieves have a couple of underwater skills where they evade while attacking, and if they just spam them and use all their initiative on those skills, they can attack you non-stop while being evading the entire time and you can't hit them back. And then on top of that, they also, on their harpoon gun, they have like a 1200 range teleport, so they can get away and you can't get away. I could kill this guy faster by burning some few abilities, but I want to keep them available in case I get jumped. The second thing I fear in water is Elementalist because of the lightning cage, but I'm more scared of Thief. Like, I feel like Thief wins any underwater battle, and it's like, it's their fight to lose. Like, they will win it, but if they screw up, then they lose. But the ball's in their court. He went around that way to try to cut me off. Which Legendary armor is easier to make, World v World or Open World? World v World one is just an attendance trophy. You play World v World for hundreds of hours, here's your armor. The Open World one takes a lot of your time and money, but it will... Hang on. But you can work on it solo without worrying about other people. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna AoE down this Guardian also. Oh, that's not good. Oh my, dude, oh, they healed the Supervisor so much. Okay, I think the Luminary might be a support player. Like, that's a lot of healing to just throw out. Okay, I've killed 2 now. But they absolutely know that I'm here. They get her up? Yeah, they did get her up. Alright. This is very much feels like a quality versus quantity situation. Engineer just went stealth. Oh, nice. So he stealthed, he wasn't in combat yet, and then he was able to mount up, and we couldn't hit him during that. Since someone's with me, I won't pull them back. Moving away before I stealth so that it doesn't hit the other guy. He's invuln, but he can't attack. Oh, wow. Whatever that last hit was not me. The Dragon Hunter, like, I had him immobilized, and I was putting condies on him, but he suddenly went from 2/3 to dead. That was not me. I can't see that many Revenant. Is it relevant for World v World? Yeah, Conduit is very popular in World v World. I run into a lot of those. I don't run in... Okay, when I'm solo roaming, I don't run into Heralds much, but I know that they are popular for blobs, like the big group stuff. Renegade and Vindicator, I definitely see, but less often. Ah, crud. Roots for you guys. Bye. What just happened? That guard just jumped in and didn't seem to even target Muk. I'm not sure which fight you're talking about. I might have had it rooted. One thing I often do when I'm fighting NPCs is immobilize them and then just take one step back so that I'm not taking damage from them. Pistol guard, say hi. Well, he said guard, not scout. The pistol ones are the scouts. And yeah, they spam blind with their gun. They're annoying. I would love to turn around and fight one or two of those, but that might be too many. It's funny, I thought it was a ranger with a pet, but it was a freaking berserker with a deer chasing him. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Aw, man. My pet wasn't close enough, so my signet of the, PETA didn't work. I had a bunch of condies on me, including an immobilize, and my Cure 2 conditions didn't get the immobilize off, so I hit Signet of Renewal, which only removes conditions if the pet's near me, and it wasn't close enough. Did you anger the deer accidentally? Well, I was AoEing the warrior and it hit the deer, so yeah, the deer got hit by it. How are willbenders a PvE and PvP? Willbenders have never not been overpowered. I chose the class because I think it's cool, but I've only played PvE so far. I want to get into PvP, but I get wrecked so fast I can't even react most times. Granted, I have no idea what I'm doing yet. Once you have an idea what you're doing, you will have a huge advantage. Willbenders is the type of class that they will pop a whole bunch of cooldowns. They'll have every boon in the game. They will teleport on you without line of sight, even if you're on the other side of a wall. They will blender for like 30,000 damage, so any ranger pets in the zip code all die just because they were there. And if the person's not dead, then maybe you run away, and then reset, and then do it again. So yeah, it's very strong. In the zip code? Dude, it's true. I've mentioned it before, but World of Warcraft had a thing where the pets would take 90% less damage from things that were not directly targeting them. That way, they didn't just instantly die from standing in AoE because they're stupid and they stand in AoE. But this game doesn't have that, so if I'm fighting a good Willbender or Weaver, frequently what happens is pet goes pop. What class could heal a bunch of people at the same time in World v World? Every single class can do builds like that. For Warrior, you know, I'd recommend Paragon. For Revenant, maybe Vindicator. For Guardian, I'd say Firebrand's possibly the most popular one. Scrapper can do it, Druid can do it, Spectre can do it, Tempest can do it. Why am I taking so much damage? Oh my god. Like, this is just NPCs. Oh, this is a tier 2 camp. The NPCs are higher levels. No, we're not doing that. Pet died. That Ring of Blades only hurts me if I cross it, so I just didn't cross it. Ah, dang it. I'm committing. Well, I got the kill, but 3 or more people showed up, and they're probably reviving that guy. Even if they don't, his respawn is right over there. Might have been able to take that camp if the others hadn't shown up. Today I learned about the Blade Ring. Yeah, what is that? Procession of Blades, I think? Yeah, so it does the Blade Ring, right? You only take damage on the ring. The inside of it is safe, the outside of it is safe. So usually Dragon Hunters will put the ring down, and the most dangerous ones I've run into, they do the chain, pull you into the ring, and then they knock you back out of the ring with another move, so that you take the damage of crossing the line twice. But if you just stay on the inside and you don't get knocked around, you don't actually get hit at all. Muk, which class is better DPS on PvE and open world or worldview in your opinion, Berserker or Amalgam? They're both fantastic. If the only metric we're looking at is damage, they're both fantastic. I would say in PvP, I'm more scared of an Amalgam. A Berserker, like, foregoes defense to do massive damage, but if you could dodge that damage, it feels like, you know, they're squishier in exchange for that. Not always. Some of the good ones don't make it feel that way. But Amalgam feels like they're incredibly high damage, but they didn't sacrifice anything for it when you're fighting against them. Wait, what? Oh, hi. Shoot. Did you knock it off with the fears? Holy crap. I don't know if I could beat this guy, chat. This guy, like, anytime I start to get him low, he has Shroud back up. I honestly don't know if I could beat him. I'm gonna try. But this guy is really tough. I should not have walked across the ring there. Okay, and then that was his staff fear. That should not have happened. Yeah, fear, yeah. Yeah, he's out of cooldown? No, he's not. He was not. Yeah. He interrupted my heal, and then he hit me with 4 more fears after that, and I could not ever get my heal off. Yeah, the weakness to Core Necro is mobility. Back when I said, I don't know if I could win this, I could have just run away. He would not have been able to catch me. But staying and fighting, I wanted to see if I could beat him, and I couldn't. Necro is easily the best core spec. For PvP, I 100% agree with you. Like, if I run into a core ranger, I'm like, oh, easy kill. Like, it is lesser than Druid. But it is lesser than Soul Beast. But if I run into a... does he want to fight? You want to fight? But if I run into a core Necro, they... Oh, nice. He just reflected everything because it's not rendering magnetic aura. Thank you, game. But if I run into a core Necro, they have core Shroud, which is amazing. Said it before, I'll say it again. Lightning Rabbit. Very fast fight, one way or another. But I feel they're fair, because they got huge damage, but there's a trade-off. Mug, are your mods volunteers or are they paid? Spartan, I... Hold on. Hold on, we're gonna need to go to safety to have this conversation. Okay. There is a massive difference between someone who is at the top 1% of Twitch and the top 0.1% of Twitch, okay? I make enough money that I provide for my wife and my kid and me, and I'm able to pay my video editor. But that's for like part-time video editing work. It's not like full-time, right? I cannot afford to pay any mods. No, the mods that help me out when they are here are basically just they're volunteers who are drunk on power. That's it. That's all it is. Now, like, there is many months where the amount of money I pay Noxxi to edit my YouTube videos, there's many months where I pay Noxxi more money than I make from YouTube. Like, to be very clear on that, there's many months where I operate my YouTube channel at a negative, okay? But I justify it because it still advertises my stream and the Patreon. The Patreon helps pay for it. But no, I occasionally can get them like game keys and stuff like that, just some like thank yous or like Christmas cards or something, but not any, they're not like full-time employees, no. Muck is poor. I wouldn't say I'm poor, but like I have to like ration my spending. You know, I'm a thousandaire, chat. Not to brag. No, I'm not like friggin' Asmongold with millions and millions in the bank. Your insurance says you are? Oh my god. No, I would love to be able to do that if the audience... I don't know if it ever will, but if the audience ever gets to a point where I could do something like that, yeah, that would be amazing. I don't have a large enough audience that I could have one full-time employee, much less multiples. Asbon lives in a cave. Yep, an already paid for cave. I stun arrowed myself hitting his electro whirl. What? That was weird. The moment his opening combo ended, he used, I think it's Elixir S, and went invulnerable. And I was just like, wait, what? Why did you do this? Is it capping? Yes. Okay, I don't have to kill that. That I have to hit. A mechanist. Oh my god, she used shift signet on the opener. That's like she's just ran up to me and just said, "Kill me, bro." Alright, now we have to kill this guard. What is Shift Signet? It's a Mechanist move that every Mechanist takes, because it's really good. and you teleport to the target location, you cure 2 conditions, it increases your run speed, it cures conditions from your pet also. It just does a lot of stuff. So the fact that she used it on the opener meant she was like, hey, I've used one of my condition cleanses and my teleport. Those are on cooldown now. So as someone who likes to root people and put conditions on them, I was just like, stun break 2 and a stun break 2. Mechanist has 0 chance of killing Muck, less bucks AFK. Mechanist, like, dude, I love Mechanist. I love pet builds. When End of Dragons came out, I mained Mechanist for like a year. I don't find it a threat. Like, if I'm already fighting 2 people and a Mechanist joined in, yeah, that's more damage being piled on me. I'm in trouble. But in a one-on-one, I could just immobilize the mech, take a step away, and it's no longer a problem. And the Mechanist themselves is an engineer without a toolbar, like the toolkit. So I don't find them threatening. In World v. World, my mech dies pretty quickly. Yeah, in any large-scale battles, pets, mechs, minions, illusions, all those will die very fast. In a 1v1 duel, the mech can stay alive for a bit, but again, versus a druid, I could just immobilize it and leave it rooted somewhere and just keep chasing the mech around, the mechanist around. How much do you make compared to Asmongold? All right. If I were a bachelor, I would have no problem sharing the numbers, but it makes my wife uncomfortable, and I'm not going to do that. Happy wife, happy life. So what I will tell you is if I only did Twitch streaming or I only did YouTube, I would not have enough to do this as a job unless I was alone in a cardboard box eating ramen. But I do Twitch, I do YouTube, I take sponsorships when I can get them, I have the Patreon, and, you know, the occasional referral links, things like that. Like, all of that combined, my family's okay, and I could pay Noxxi to edit videos part-time. That's it. Like, I can't do anything above that. So, if, yeah, it correlates to audience size, too, right? So, like, if I, you know, suddenly just... Yo, my YouTube channel just blew up.
King gifted a tier 1 sub to Happy Cathapy Life. They have given 11 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you, Lemon King. Appreciate you. Ghost as well. No third Camaro. Dude,
a snail a day keeps the cardboard box away.
If my car got stolen and the officer was like, what make, model, and color is it? I would be like, well, the color is rust. Like, I don't know what it was, but the color of the car is rust. It's got like a greenish rust. Like, it's, like, that's what we're looking for. I'm very much a function over form thing when it comes to vehicle. Like, as long as it's working, I don't care how many hundreds of thousands of miles it has on it. I'm not replacing it until it just breaks. Muck, read this. Oh, what's up? Hang on. Muck, did you read the Guild Wars 3 blog post about playable species? No, I didn't know that was a thing. Hang on a second. Our approach to playable species in Guild Wars 3. Oh, shoot. Oh, well, they just gave me more work to do today, didn't they? All right, we know what we're doing for the last 15 minutes. I gotta make a news video. All right, to the blog? Yes, to the blog. Hang on. Okay. What have we got here? Oh, it's 4. I kept saying I bet it's 4 or 5. Because we saw Coden, Asura Human, and I kept saying I bet it's 4 or 5. But hold on. We'll catch up to that in a second. All right. Let me go into YouTube video mode. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to mute Nogdog's Patreon noise. And I'm going to pause the alerts. All right. YouTube mode. Here we go. Hello, Guild Wars gamers. Mukluk here, and today we've got a new blog post from the GW2uesday.com webpage called Our Approach to Playable Species in Guild Wars 3. So I think we're all hoping to see a list of what all things we'll be able to play. We have a hunch that it's going to be Human, Coden, Asura, and some more, because those three races were in the trailer. Let's see what they say. Hello, fellow Tyrians. Today we're going to kick off conversations around one of the hottest topics we've seen being discussed across the Guild Wars community since the announcement of the game. It's time to talk about playable species in Guild Wars 3. Note, while we've previously used the term playable races for Guild Wars 2, over time we felt it didn't accurately describe the biological differences between the peoples of Tyria, so we'll be using playable species for Guild Wars 3 going forward. I think that's silly, but okay. How many playable species for launch are in Guild Wars 3? Alright, with the setup done, let's begin by confirming one detail. Guild Wars 3 will launch with 4 different playable species. 2 of these species will be ones you've been able to play in previous Guild Wars games, the humans and Asura. The 3rd is a species you've met before that will be playable for the first time, our awesome bear people, the Codan. The 4th is a new species whose story connects deeply to Or's past but has been lost to history. You'll have to wait. Oh my god! You'll have to wait to find out more about them in the future. Okay. Alright, so really quick here, I'm going to repeat one of my previous predictions, is Guild Wars 3, we haven't seen anything that's like the elf race, right? You know, in Guild Wars 2, you could disagree with me, but you're wrong. Guild Wars 2 Sylvari are the elf race, right? There's like some slender race. Maybe they're tree huggers. Maybe they're long lived. You know, but it's like an elfish race. I'm thinking whatever the new one is an elf race, but you know, I've seen people say like Largos and Tengu and stuff like that. But since they're saying it's a new race, I think they're making up something new, and anything we've guessed is wrong. I think anything that we've guessed is wrong, because they said it's a new one. So it's not Salads, it's not Char, it's not Tengu, it's not Largos, it's not Choya, thank God. Yeah, it's not Skrit. Yeah, it's something that they're just making up. I don't know. Long Quaggan, shut up. Starting next week, we'll tell you more about the lore of each species and what makes them unique in Or during our timeline and upcoming blogs penned by members of our studio's narrative team. Different approaches for different games. In Guild Wars Reforged, we focused on the story of humanity, starting on Ascalon and later expanding to allow players to create human characters from Cantha and Ilona. The game and the stories told were human-focused, and so the roster of playable species was never expanded beyond humans. In Guild Wars 2, we introduced 5 different playable species: humans, Asura, Norn, Char, and Sylvari. The species were built with bespoke personal stories, environments, cities, animations, and cosmetic options. This investment helped make each species feel distinct and aligned with our high-level story theme of Tyria's species being separated at first, but having to band together to succeed. It also established a scope and quality bar that made adding another species a major cross-disciplinary undertaking, meaning that same quality bar for an additional species would require substantial work across narrative world art, animation, character art, and other systems. This has made adding a new species incredibly difficult to prioritize alongside the other content and features that we continue to build for Guild Wars 2. All right, so I want to pause there to talk about this for a second. So when they add a new race, think about back when you made your character. You know, you picked your race, you picked your gender, you picked like a background, which affected your story. There was like a bunch of branching story paths from like level 10 to 20 and 20 to 30 and so on. So they had to build out all of those stories. And I think one of the things that takes the most amount of work is the armors, because every item that exists in the game has to be adjusted to fit the new race. So the longer they waited before possibly thinking about doing this, the more work they would have. It's like every boot, every pants, every shoulder pad, blah, 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 has to fit the new race. So that's a massive undertaking. The more items and armors and weapons that are in the game going forward. That said, I still think it would be cool if they did add, stuff. And there's different ways to do it. Like, for example, just to draw from my experience in World of Warcraft, when they added Death Knights, you could not make a Death Knight on a brand new account. I believe when you had to have a character above level 55. Then, if you wanted, you could make a Death Knight. But the Death Knight newbie zone was a level 55 zone. They started at 55 and ended at level 60. And then they, or more like 58, but they got out of the newbie zone. So they didn't have to make a whole new level 0 zone, a whole new level 10 zone, a whole new level 20 zone. They didn't have to redo the early stories for the Death Knights. They just had them. It was like, okay, well, it's a Death Knight. This person died. They were brought back. They were already established. So they come out of the newbie zone around level 60. So you could do something like that to not have that early game stuff. You could just say like, oh, you could play Tengu, but the Tengu you meet are from the land behind the wall of the Four Winds or whatever it's called, and they were already accomplished adventurers. So if you play a Tengu, you pop out and you're already level 50 or something. Like you could do something like that if they wish to. At the very least, I hope that they make the Guild Wars 3 system something, I don't know if modular is the word I'm working for, but it's close. But basically a system where if they wanted to, they could easily add races and or classes later. That's what I want to see. I want to see them build it from the ground up in a way where they could easily add more later if they want. For Guild Wars 3, we're once again focusing on picking the playable species for launch that best align with the stories and themes in the game. The 4 species you'll be able to play as are central to the story, cultures, and conflicts we'll explore in or at launch. Our focus is on making each of them feel deeply rooted in the world. They said rooted, it's salads. You'll note I said 4 playable species at the launch of the game. Oh, I think they heard what I was just talking about. This wording is very important as we're taking a different approach to building playable characters for Guild Wars 3 in order to support expanded options in the future. Thank you to whichever dev is in my chat that just edited the blog. I appreciate you. Designing for future flexibility. To help tell the stories we want to tell in Guild Wars 3, we are approaching development from the beginning with the goal of adding more playable species in the future. The story of the game for launch is a unified one with all our player characters operating under the Veil Warden banner across the vast wilderness and pockets of civilization in Ur. On the technical side, everything about how we build playable species, including animation systems, rigs, and clothing, is being carefully examined to ensure the systems can be expanded. This means that if a species you are eager to play isn't in Guild Wars 3 at launch, there is always a chance that we might add them in the future. The only exception would be a species with an extreme body silhouette that would require extensive unique custom support that can't leverage the systems we've built. For example, playable Forgotten with their 4 arms and serpentine body are not a viable option. That's what they want you to think, chat. They're trying to throw us off. Apologies to the community member who proposed that one recently. Play what you love. While I just want to say something. Like, they could still do it, but yeah, it would be kind of weird. Because, like, imagine if you're playing a snake guy and you get new boots, and on the snake guy, it's just kind of like a wristband on the end of your tail. It's just like, yeah, we go to the snake cobbler to get boots fitted, and to just, like, hack off the bottom half of the boot. It would be kind of weird. Again, WoW background, the trolls, shoes on them is just like an anklet. It doesn't cover their giant feet, so they just have like an ankle band around that. Play what you love. While evaluating lessons from playable species and MMOs and deciding how to approach them in Guild Wars 3, we identified one additional area we will take a firm stance on up front. They're going to say no char. We are carrying forward a principle that has been important in Guild Wars 2. The species you choose should express your character's identity and fantasy, not determine the most powerful way to play. Okay, I think they're talking about racial abilities. There will be no statistical or mechanical differences between different playable species. We don't want players to feel they have to choose a character model to... a specific character model to get a certain power advantage for other characters, and we'd rather you just play what you love. We realize many RPGs approach this differently, and it works great for them, but we feel like for Guild Wars, this is the right approach for us. Well, I am a little bummed out by that, but it is certainly not a deal breaker for me. I mentioned in my wish list for things for Guild Wars 3, I would love if they had racial abilities. Because when I, like, can save the day or survive because of a racial thing, it feels good. You know, it feels just as good as a class thing. You know, like if you live, if I as a ranger live because I used a ranger trick to get out of a situation, it feels good. Like, man, I'm glad I'm on my ranger. It feels the same way, but it's, you know, if they're not into that, that's fine. But like, you know, EverQuest, which I played long ago, it had different stats. So like if you were an ogre warrior or a troll warrior or an elf warrior or a human warrior, you had different starting stats. Now, any of them, you could dump all the points you gain into strength, but an ogre started with more strength than the others. So ogres were a popular option for that role. You didn't have to play it. You know, you were like 5% stronger than the others, but it was a popular choice. And then, of course, WoW had the racial, not stat differences. WoW had racials like, you know, undead at will of the Forsaken. They could break out of a sleep spell or a charm spell. Orcs had like 5% more damage to their pets, so they made good hunters or warlocks. But again, if you didn't do it, it was fine. So I am kind of sad to see that they're not going that route just because I enjoyed it, but it's not a deal breaker for me by any means. All right, looking ahead. So that's our kickoff for playable species in Guild Wars 3 and the approach we'll be taking at launch and beyond. We're really excited for you to meet the species you'll be able to play at launch, and we're just as excited to explore the opportunity to introduce new options to the game in the future. Next week, you'll hear from our narrative team, who will be introducing the first of our 4 playable species and telling you more about what makes them unique and different in the timeline and setting of our game world. Until next time, may the 6 watch over you. Signed, Colin. Okay, so let's see. For maximum trolling, what I'm guessing they're going to do is they will have a blog post show up, and it's going to be for either the human, the Kodan, or the Asura, and then the second one of the 3, and then the third one of the 3, and then our mystery one will be the 4th one. I welcome them to prove me wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. I think the next 4 blog posts will be the 3 that we know, but we're going to learn more about, and then the mystery one. But what's really important is, can the Asura get wizard hats? That's what I think all of us are waiting to know right now. So that is the new blog post for Guild Wars 3 on species. Obviously a little tease, you know, we didn't get the information we most wanted, which was simply what are the races, but we did get some information we didn't previously have, so that's nice. So as always, there's a link to this in the description if you want to read it again yourself. If you got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, put them in the comment section down below, and I will fight you there. There we go. One take, chat. One take. All right, hold on. Let me turn this back on and turn this back on. Okay, looks like there's nothing in the queue. Golden. All right. Watch they do the new one first. You know what? They might. I would love if they would prove me wrong. I'm kind of reminded of back when they were like doing a blog post each week for the elite specs as they were coming out, and like everybody was constantly guessing like on the next elite spec, like, well, they did a medium armor, then they did a heavy armor, so I bet next they're gonna do a light armor, and the last one was a dark color, so I bet the next one will be a light color. So and like we were reading so much into it, just trying to figure out like what's the next elite spec they're going to announce, and we were all wrong because they were just rolling dice over there at ArenaNet HQ. Seems like Charmon will be Ratmon or Bearmon. Well, I mean, he's Charmon and Darktide, and his name's not, you know, he's not playing a Char over there. But yeah, I think I think the folks that are Char inclined are probably going to be playing Kodan, if I had to guess. I'm still thinking that that 4th race is going to be something elfish, like they're going to be like tall or lithe or something like that, because we got medium-sized dude, big dude, and short dude. We don't have skinny dude. So we will see what they do with that. I might be completely wrong, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Could it be Largos? I would say it's not going to be anything we can think of because they said they're making up something new, basically. A new species whose story connects deeply to Or's past but was lost to history. So it's something new. We don't know this one. So I don't think it's anything we know of from the game so far. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, Or had elves. We forgot to tell you. They all died when Zaitan woke up. But this is the story of the elves that in the future all die. It'll be something like that. It's horses. It's horses. Oh no. Just like bipedal talking horses. Oh man. Horse race confirmed. Oh man. I wish you had said that while I was recording the thing. That would have been great. Okay. All right, chat. With that, I'm out of time, and I have a news video to make. So as always, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Hit the follow button on Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTubes. Here's links to my 2 YouTube channels if you're not already subbed, and a special thank you to the patrons. They keep me employed. I couldn't do this without their help, and there's a link to that in the chat if you want to support. Shilling complete, I will raid someone else who is in the Guild Wars directory, so those of you that want to keep watching Guild Wars will be able to do so. Let me see who is live right now. Let's see. Teapot is live, but he certainly doesn't need my help. He is golden. Where's someone who could use a boost? You know what, chat? We're gonna meet somebody new here. Hang on a sec. We are going to find someone I've never raided before. Let me see. I want someone speaking English with a camera, and let's see. Where are they? With like a good vibe type of thing. Was it Muckades VTubers? No, that counts as a camera. Yeah, that counts. When I say like I mean like I want to be able to like see reactions, like that kind of thing, you know. Okay, that's like Spanish or something. We got Vic, that guy you rated a couple days ago, is a fun guy. He was. I would like to get someone else here. Wait, hold on a sec. Guild Wars 2, episode 1051. AVA series. Oh, he's a Guild Wars partner. I don't think I know this guy. Dude, they've gotten so many new partners. I do not know them all. All right, I'll try this guy out. All right. If you want to do good vibes, get your raid emotes ready. I'll see you guys over there. You guys have a great one. I'll be back in about 5 hours for the evening stream. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Here.
La culture gaming en mode c'est le jeu culte. Alors que Tears of the Kingdom, il fait tout ce que fait Breath of the Wild et il le fait en